numbers on the left pocket.
Tugler set to tip against Isaac Garrett, and Houston has the first possession.
Fascinating. This is a 1-3-1 starting out. Normally you attack a 1-3-1 at the elbow and at the short corner.
They attack there, and they have success with Sinek.
Chris Sinek makes the game look really easy at times.
Here's the starting five for Oakland. It's Wells, Ava LaRua, Robinson, Garrett, and Mashore. And a turnover. Here goes Kingston Flemings. Kick out to Sharp. Sinek. Offensive rebound for Tugler.
Good pass.
Here's the Houston five. Uzan, Fleming, Sharp, Sinek, and Tugler. Corner three, Milo Uzan.
Kingston Flemings, who we were so impressed with Saturday, catches that ball and his eyes are always up looking for a teammate.
Step back three and a miss there from Mashore. Kingston Flemings lost the handle, but it was last touch there.
Now Miles Uzan just 4 for 17 starting this season. That is a good start for the 6'4" senior from Las Vegas. You know, it's interesting. Greg Campy was talking about, look, we'll talk a lot about who they've played so far. It's hard to imagine a better start for Houston than they're off to here the first couple of minutes. But Greg Campy talked about that they did well in a slower pace game against Purdue than they did against a faster paced Michigan Wolverine team. Transition basket should be a key.
Yeah, they struggled against Michigan in the transition. Hard to get in the matchup zone when you're passing like this.
One of the keys that Kelvin Sampson talked about improving was the three-point shooting, and here already 2 for 3 in the first minute and a half of the game.
Good pass underneath. There's a rejection from JoJo Tugler. Pass was too far in front of Kingston Flemings.
We ought to keep track of how many shots JoJo Tugler impacts. He already has 7 blocks in 3 games, has 2 in this game in the first 2 minutes.
JoJo Tugler, a finalist for the National Player of the Year last season. He's also preseason All-Big 12 alongside Sharp and Milo Uzan. Bounce pass inside, good offense. First bucket comes from Isaac Garrett, the transfer from Snow College.
Yeah, a terrific pass from Brody Robinson, the Houston native, played at Houston Christian High School here in town.
Now we see the matchup zone. Sinek from the free throw line. Sharp grabs the long rebound. Flemings attacks. Off the glass from Kingston Flemings. Robinson lost the handle. And then he's fouled on the perimeter.
Ooh, Kelvin Sampson is furious over that call. Brady Robinson has handles. Really does a nice job off the dribble, and then his passer comes into the game averaging 11 points and 5 assists.
JoJo Tugler departs with his second foul. He's replaced by the Sam Houston transfer Khalifa Sacco.
Very similar to what we saw Saturday with Emmanuel Sharp. Started the game really well, picked up 2 quick fouls, and then we did not see him again in the first half.
Traveling the call against Garrett. Direct line passes is what Greg Campy and this Oakland team wants to avoid using this matchup zone.
There are going to be some lobs open on the weak side in this game.
That's the shot Oakland wants you to take. That deep 15 to 18 footer missed there by Sinek. Garrett Shot fake, got up, good balance.
A nice spread. There are a lot of good spacing on the floor that time. Running double teams and you're out there about 40 feet from the basket. Very difficult to recover and find a man.
Here we see the 1-3-1 matchup zone from Oakland. Sanak across court. It was touched. Deflection gives the ball for Houston.
You're attacking a matchup zone. It has man-to-man principles, so you can still set screens and pick and rolls can be effective, but especially pinning down on the weak side for the skip pass that the Cougars just tried should be an effective way to attack the zone.
Larua returns from the bench. There's a dunk from Kingston Flemings.
Oh my! Woo! Boy, he threw that down quick.
Mashur. Larua. Brody Robinson. Pass fake from Mashur. Now he attacks. Tried the wraparound pass. White. Shot clock is at 5. Robinson lost the handle. Houston ball.
Yeah, excellent defense. Cougars off to a great start, playing excellent defense, knocking down threes. Have already had one from Milos Uzan. Emmanuel Sharp's knocked down a 3. Cougars up 8 early. In his game on Saturday, that dunk he just had on the baseline, I'm telling you, he took off with 2 feet and he was outside the lane and didn't just throw it down, he punched it down. That was awesome.
Sharp to Sanak. These are the shots they will allow you to take. Sanak gets closer, and he's fouled.
I like that. First time he's been to the free throw line this year. Chris Sanak has such a beautiful release. Watch Kingston Flemings. Inbounds the ball, catches it, up fake. Look where he takes off from. Bam! Holy cow. Put his left hand up on the backboard and the rim was about at his elbow. Holy smokes. Yeah.
Sanak misses the first free throw. A couple changes here for Oakland. Zaire Wells returns. A break for Brett White II, the 5th-year senior. Early thoughts on Sanak's free throw shooting form?
Yeah, he's got a beautiful release. You know, there's no reason that he can't be an 80, 85% free throw shooter. I mean, that ball comes out of his hands so pure. Excited to see the 3rd freshman, highly talented freshman on the floor, Isaiah Harwell.
He sat out last game against Towson. He played in the opener. Harwell dealing with a small injury. He helps up Khalifa Sacco to the floor. Harwell's from Pocatello, Idaho, play at the Wasatch Academy in Utah, another 5-star recruit. Ranked the number 4 shooting guard nationally in the ESPN 100.
Yeah, Austin Ivan was talking about the off-season program, and they asked Isaiah Harwell what he thought about it. He was like, oh my gosh, I've never run so much in my entire life. All we do is run. We just run and we keep running.
6 a.m. workouts is the norm. A slip, no travel called. Sacco picks up the loose ball. Now it's with Oakland, corner kick. Shot fake, sidestep, extra pass. Mashur attacks. Good no-look pass.
He travels. Boy, that was a travel.
And after all that, a finish at the rim from Isaac Garrett, the Pleasant Grove High School product from Utah.
Could have caught a travel on the pass and then on the up fake.
They're trying to find Sanak in these corners. He will back down his man. Chris Sanak off the window. Put back dunk, Khalifa Sacco.
It is very difficult to rebound when you're running a matchup zone, when you're running a zone defense. Very difficult to get your assignments. The Cougars now have 3 offensive rebounds on 4 misses, resulting in 7 second chance points. What did Greg Campy say one of the keys for his team tonight was to limit the Cougars to a 35% offensive rebounding efficiency. So far, it's not going so well.
Greg Campy said in the Horizon League, they want opponents to be at 25% against a top 25 team like Houston, low 30s. He said he would be happy with 35% or less from Houston tonight. A good look, but a miss there from Mashur. But the long rebound is pulled in here by Isaac Garrett. Zaire Wells missed it with the left hand. Harwell rebounds.
Ooh, Lava's going to be open.
Emmanuel Sharp left alone in the corner. Houston's made its first three-point attempts. Garrett, good touch. He's averaging 15 points per game in the first two games. First season at Oakland after 2 seasons at Snow College.
Really good over his left shoulder and right shoulder. Can finish shots with both his right and left hand.
Harwell off the mark. First miss from deep for Houston. Zaire Wells misses. Chase McCarty in the game to grab that rebound.
Lob is going to be wide open if you can get that center to bite.
Harwell misses a three.
Great box out.
And a foul called there as two players jostled for the rebounds. This one goes against Nassim Mashur.
Yeah, Mashur had really good position, was boxing out, and I don't know about this call. Chase McCarty had his left hand over his shoulder and pulled him down. You can't box out any better than that.
First foul on Nassim Mashur. Buru Nebularua goes back to the bench for Oakland. Kingston Fleming's inbounds to Sinak.
Good pass.
McCarty had it stripped. Zaire Wells knocked it off the legs of McCarty.
You can watch a lot of college basketball and never see what Oakland does. It is amazing. Probably 95% of the teams in college basketball play man-to-man, and then on baseline out of bounds, they go zone. Oakland does the exact opposite. 99% of the time they play zone and then go man-to-man on baseline out-of-bound plays. That is amazing to me.
Shot blocked by Kingston Flemings. And it's Houston ball off that miss from Corey Thurman, the junior from Chicago.
I had no idea the athleticism of Kelvin Sampson's freshman point guard, Kingston Flemings. He was off balance, he had been beat, and was able to still go up and not just contest the jump shot, but block the jump shot when all of his weight was on his heels. Jeez, that kid is good. This kid's gonna be special.
Sharp hits a three. You can't leave him alone from there. Sharp's attempted 3 shots, each beyond the three-point line. Each he's made.
The Cougars off to a tremendous start, have extended the lead to
coaches, and because of that, I think he would argue he has one of the best staffs in the country.
Yeah, year in and year out. I thought that was a fascinating answer. Recruits are assigned to assistant coaches just based upon geography and relationships. And at the end of the day, that is what recruiting is. It's about relationships.
Reach-in foul is called.
Another thing that's interesting, last week at a press conference, I heard Kelvin talk about the recruiting process, and he's talking about these 3 5-star freshmen, and he said those kids recruited us as much as we recruited them. That explains why this program's only had 4 transfers in the last 5 years. Kids show up, and everyone always asks, man, are they ready for how hard they're going to be coached and how demanding Coach Sampson is? The answer is yes. That's why they came here. So they've already bought in, and it's not a surprise. That is not over and back unless you control the ball. If you have not controlled it, then it cannot be an over and back violation.
He was trapped in the corner, then he threw it off the legs. It's Houston ball.
Yeah, Corey Thurman right now is absolutely overwhelmed Good trap.
Seemed to step out before he threw the ball. Kingston Flemings grew up in San Antonio. He was watching Houston practices during his high school career, watching Houston's games. He showed up and was not surprised by the intensity.
Well, Texas Gatorade Player of the Year. I'm going to say I can't remember the last time I saw Kelvin Sampson have this much confidence in a freshman point guard, but the answer is that it's probably never. He's probably never allowed a freshman point guard to have this kind of playing time early on.
Sharp misses his first three. Push off from Isaiah Harwell.
It's a good call. Isaiah Harwell put his hands in the back of the defender and just shoved him out of the way. Isaiah Harwell's, we talked about Kingston went from 165 to 190. Isaiah Harwell's a big, strong-looking freshman.
Knocked away by Sinak. It stays with Oakland. Oakland has taken care of the ball in the first half. Just 2 turnovers for Oakland. They averaged 10 turnovers in their first 2 games, both losses at Michigan and Purdue.
First 2 games, number 7 ranked Michigan, number 1 ranked Purdue, and then you follow up with number 1 Houston. Has there ever in the history of basketball been a starting schedule like number 7, number 1, and number 1? Oh, good block.
Flemings has his shot blocked. Tremendous rim protection. Isaac Garrett.
Kingston Flemings, well, he's limping. I thought it was his face. I thought his cheek bounced off the floor.
Replaced by Milo Suzan here. Oakland said the one thing his team is missing is a rim protector. His great teams have had those, but Isaac Garrett did some rim protection there.
See, here's the man-to-man out of the baseline, out of bounds play.
Sharp to the corner. McCarty off the back of the rim. There's a foul underneath as Oakland tried to find the defensive rebound.
Yeah, they called that on Brody Robinson at 5'10" trying to box out Chris Sinak at 6'10".
No chance he would miss this game. He got hurt in the Purdue game. Hurt his shooting shoulder, but he's back in his hometown of Houston. He went to Houston Christian High School. Sinak had his shot blocked. Another rejection from Isaac Garrett.
Good hesitation.
Oakland says goaltending. The referees thought it was a clean block. Mercy Miller in the game. McCarty from the corner off the mark. Zaire Wells grabs the rebound. Wells gets downhill. Throws it up. No whistle. Houston plays on. 5-on-4. Emmanuel Sharp. Milo Suzan from the corner.
Good tip.
Sharp gets to the paint. Tried to find Sinak. Turnover Houston.
I love Chris Sinak's hustle. So he made a power move down on one end. He was the farthest player away from the ball when that play finished, right? He was actually across the baseline and was able to block a shot at the other end at the rim. Let me tell you something, brother. You can't teach that. That is a unique skill set.
Great motor for Chris Sinak. Freshman power forward.
Good pass.
Wells finishes underneath past the potential block from Sinak.
Yeah, really good screen up at the left side at the elbow by Burrow.
Zaire Wells from Queens, South Shore High School. He spent 2 years at Monroe University, a JUCO in New Rochelle, New York, and then down to Hickory, North Carolina for Lenore Wine. And now he's at Oakland. Sinak spinning over the shoulder finish.
We've seen a mid-range game. We've seen a step-out three-pointer and a turnover the left shoulder mixed in with 2 really nice block shots.
5 points in 10 minutes for Chris Sinak for Houston.
I tried to run the exact same play over on the left side of the floor that they just scored on the right.
So that gets a break. Khalifa Sacco returns. JoJo Tugler, remember, picked up 2 early fouls. He's been on the bench since. Ramon Walker Jr. will check in for the first time. 5th-year senior from Pearland and Shadow Creek High School. McCarty goes to the bench as well, along with Sharp and Harwell. Garrett double team, patient. 1 dribble. Mashur.
Go double kick.
Garrett attacks. Shot fake, another one. And he missed. He's really fighting for the offensive rebound. That time he's called for a foul as it was grabbed by Sacco.
Well, Khalifa Sacco looks really good, right? He's bouncy, he's long. He took a fake, was able to come back down, gather, and explode back up and still impact that shot attempt. Great opportunity for him. It's too bad that JoJo Tugler got in early foul trouble, but we've seen, Kelvin, if you get 2 early fouls, you're going to come out and sit the rest of the half.
Garrett dealing with some blood under his eye. Nate Deere checks in, senior from Australia. He spent last season at Texas State. He wears number 11. Hesitation and go from Robinson. He was fouled on his way up. The Houstonian will take some free throws when we come back after this media timeout.
Well, both teams have gone cold from the field, both one of their last 7, but Chris Sinak having a loss. Mark Few at 27. I tell you what, there are very few coaches in college basketball that are as universally liked as Greg Kampe. I have never heard anybody say any negative word about him. And he is an innovator. He is consistent. He is one of the best in our game.
So he started as an assistant at Toledo, 1978 to 84. Kelvin Sampson was at Michigan State, 79 to 80 before going to Montana Tech. Kampe 715 wins. Coach Sampson with 801 wins. Wells to Brody Robinson. Wells attacks. Wild shot. Ramon Walker rebounds. Flemings to the corner. Mercy Miller. Ramon Walker Jr. Miller 1 dribble, and he has the teardrop.
Excellent ball movement. Right, Kingston Fleming pushing the ball up. The ball went all the way to the corner, all the way back to the other side, and then attacked that high post.
First points tonight for Mercy Miller. Isaac Garrett. Larua draws a blocking foul.
Yeah, that's that new rule last year, right? You've got to be in position before the plant foot hits the ground. That's absolutely the right call, even though Ramon Walker was in really good defensive position.
Free throws coming here. 1-1.
Interesting, Greg Kampe wants to challenge that. I don't think that's challengeable.
He was saying he was in the process of shooting. He should get 2 shots. Instead, it's 1-1 as they're in the bonus.
Yeah, Greg Kampe's talking about a new rule this year. The college game hasn't gone completely to the NBA game, where if you're gathering the ball, but they've gotten pretty close to it. The new rule this year will allow you to finish a step or finish a pivot in a continuation type field goal opportunity.
Pull up from Kingston Flemings. Rebounded by Ramon Walker Jr. Milo Suzanne spinning. Kick out. Ramon Walker. Halfway down. Miller back to Ramon Walker. Kingston Flemings gets to the paint. Jump stop and hits. Four points, 2 assists in 9 minutes for Kingston Flemings. Foul called against Suzanne. It's actually on Mercy Miller, first to make contact. Little reach for Mercy Miller is the call, his first foul.
Now Kelvin not pleased with that. I don't know whether he's yelling at Kip Kissinger. I thought he was mad at Mercy.
Wells misses the first free throw. 2 1-and-1s missed by Oakland here late in the first half.
You know, Oakland's leading scorer, Zaire Wells, has just 2 points, and Mercy Miller knocking down a 3 on the other end. Well, the three-point shooting has been unbelievable here in the first half. Cougars 5 for 14 behind the line.
Miller 5 points in 5 minutes off the bench. Brody Robinson away from the double team. Good vision. Baru off the mark. Ava Larua, fifth-year senior from Australia, Horizon League preseason player of the year. Uzan, Kingston Flemings shows the range. Uzan has a steal. 5-on-3 for Houston. He steps into a 3. Tipped out to Milos Uzan.
Khalifa Sacco's a little lost on the offensive end. He's just kind of standing down there and not making himself a threat. I would love to see him flash, seal, point up at the rim, put his hands up, be an option.
Oakland ball. 3 changes here for Greg Campy.
So let's talk a second. Greg Campy said that we're going to give you the 15-foot jump shot, meaning we're not going to contest that area on the floor. Number one, I'm not sure that works, but he knows the statistics and he's got a system. The problem is you are so susceptible being attacked in a zone defense from the high post. And so you may say, I'm going to give you that shot. Well, if someone flashes in there, we've seen about 4 possessions where the Cougars have flashed into the high post. The ball's gone to the high post, and it's reversed to the opposite corner and resulted in a 3-point field goal. So sometimes you may want to take away the elbow, even if you're conceding that jump shot.
Corey Thurman back in the game. Foul underneath after that miss from Brett White II.
Now the Cougars on a 10-0 run the last 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Kingston Flemings with another 3, 9 points to lead.
And then another #1 team in just the first 240 hours of the season. KenPom has them at #3 in the country for strength of schedule. Side note, Jackson State is at #2, who the Cougars will see in December.
KenPom, are you nuts? Their strength of schedule's number what? You know, for the record, I realize they factor in future opponents, but holy cow. Playing back-to-back #1 teams has not happened in 35 years of college basketball. The last team to do it were the Oklahoma Sooners. They played #1 Missouri, followed up by #1 Kansas back in 1990 in the Big 8.
Second foul there for Isaac Garrett. He's been excellent on the offensive end for Oakland. Sanak turnaround, misses from the free throw line. Sharp goes a long way for the rebounds. Uzan pops open and misses the 3. And a foul against Houston. Oakland in the bonus. They will take free throws here. 25-12 edge in rebounding. Oakland actually out-rebounded Purdue. They did not expect to out-rebound Houston tonight. Brett White II, he's the second oldest player currently playing college basketball. He's 27 years old. He didn't start playing college basketball, Reed, until 2021, 4 years post-high school, and he began at Kellogg Community College.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? He's 27. On the team, they call him Unk, based on how old he is. You know, you used to not be able to. You had 1 year to start, your clock started, and I guess those rules have changed, but I was surprised to see that you could wait 4 years to start your clock at Division I. Without military, without a Mormon mission, without something. That surprised me.
A steal for Oakland. Thurman in the front court. Over 6 minutes without a field goal for the Golden Grizzlies. Corey Thurman with his right hand. Gets to the basket but missed. Tip in attempted there by Deere. And a loose ball foul against Oakland.
So Kevin Simpson talks about his freshmen. He says the key to a freshman being successful is they need to come in and do one thing that translates from high school and be successful at it. He said, and it can't be shooting the basketball. For Chris Sinak, it has been rebounding. He has been exceptional rebounding the basketball, has double-figure rebounds in each of the first 2 games. The only freshman in Houston basketball history to accomplish that.
Rarefied air for Chris Sinak. Emmanuel Sharp, a deep 3. You know, they've asked Ramon Walker, and Coach Sampson's been asked about what's his role on this team. It's a guard-heavy team. To me, it looks like offensive rebound. He's been really crashing the glass hard tonight.
Well, he plays so hard. He's a spark. He's an energy. And Kevin Sampson talks about, we're going to carve out a role to get him on the floor. He is just too valuable. It is amazing to me that the skill that can get you on the floor is play hard, right? Then you say, golly, why didn't everybody figure that out, right? If you take play hard on top of skill and talent, then, man, you've really got something going. Here's a man-to-man. The reason I don't like man-to-man on baseline out of bounds, you're starting with the ball 3 feet from the basket. It is so easy to get rubbed off, to get screened, to get picked, and it's amazing they play zone the entire game and then switch man-to-man when the ball's the closest it's going to be to the rim.
For more on Ramon Walker, let's go back to Austin Ivan.
Yeah, just quickly, guys, you're talking about Ramon Walker doing all the little things. That shoot-around today, Coach Sampson said he is an identity player for this team along with JoJo Tugler.
Energy, toughness, rebounding. The kid may have the best nose for the basketball of anyone I've seen come through this program in a long time. If that ball's on the floor and it's loose, I'll bet you $5 that Ramon Walker's going to come up with it.
Meanwhile, Isaac Garrett's having a great first half. We saw a few shot blocks. He has 12 points on 6 shots, plus 2 rebounds in 18 minutes. This is the transfer from Snow College.
Out of Pleasant Grove, Utah, 6'8" junior. Comes into the game averaging 15 points.
Kingston Flemings misses. He grabs another rebound here. He's also tough. Remember, he went to the bench to have his eye treated on the sideline. Now he's back in scoring.
Good defense on the back cut by Mercy Miller.
Garrett's guarded by Ramon Walker Jr. here. Corey Thurman backs it out. Kick outs. Shot clock at 5. Saco, good defense after the miss from Baru Neva Larua. Mercy Miller.
The same thing we were talking about, right? If you're going to concede the high post, you've got to constantly have somebody flashing to that spot on the floor.
7 points on 5 shots off the bench for Mercy Miller.
I thought Mercy Miller looked really good Saturday.
A steal from Miller on the baseline. Here comes Kingston Flemings attacking. And he's fouled. A reach that time from Isaac Garrett, who picks up his 3rd.
I don't know whether Khalifa Sacco knew that he was setting a screen for Kingston Flemings or Flemings just read it. But the big fella's running down the court. Look at him lower his shoulder, turn the corner, and use it as a screen in transition. I'm telling you, Kingston Flemings will come back at you in the blink of an eye.
Out of Brennan High School in San Antonio. He started every game of his freshman season. Now in a double figures, 10 points, 3 assists in 14 minutes for Kingston Flemings.
Averages 14 points per game, and he has just been everything you could hope for in a freshman point guard. Very poised, right? He seems unflappable. No, the moments, and there have been a bunch of big moments, and we have a small sample size, but very businesslike in the way he approaches the game. Good double team.
White misses the deep three. Sharp grabs the rebound. Good footwork from Sharp. Kingston Flemings underneath. McCarty now. Shot clock is off. 14 seconds left in the first half.
Look at the bottom of your screen, or to the right of your screen. I would love to see Khalifa moving and making himself a threat, occupy that bottom defender.
Beautiful attack and finish from Emmanuel Sharp to close out the first half.
Oh my goodness.
Said Oakland teams, we do not play scared.
And it sounds like the Golden Grizzlies got challenged at halftime. Let's see if they can make adjustments, settle down and play. Isaac Garrett was terrific in the first half, and really nobody else for Oakland.
Zaire Wells, guarded by Sharp. Mashour hits the three, the first made three tonight for Oakland. Houston, 258 wins, 32 losses in Kelvin Sampson's tenure at U of H. Backdoor pass for Sinek from Tugler.
We talked about it a lot in the first half, attacking the zone from the high post. You throw it to the high post, you got the low post duck in. Very nice pass from JoJo Tugler.
First play out of halftime was for Mashour. He was 5 for 13 from deep in the first two games. He hits that three. Now it's Wells. He misses.
JoJo caught an elbow across the forehead.
Marcus Pettigrew checking on JoJo Tugler, who will stay in this game. Inbounded here. Ebola Rua finds the corner. Brody Robinson steps into a three. Short. Uzan with the long rebound. Emmanuel Sharp, step back. Ebola Rua grabs the rebound and carries it in the front court. Top of the key for Garrett. Ebola Rua against two. Had his shot blocked by Tugler.
Well, I don't know how JoJo didn't get his third foul. He didn't just try to contest that. Man, he tried to slap that ball up into the trombone section. Rarely can you swipe across somebody's body and not be called for a foul.
Inbounded to Garrett. 4 on the shot clock for Oakland. 2 seconds for Garrett. Shot fake. And he misses. Rebounded by Kingston Flemings. Flemings attacks. Nobody steps to the star freshman.
Kingston Flemings got the ball underneath one basket. There were 9 guys ahead of him, and yet he beat every single one of them all the way to the rim.
Robinson, foul by Sharp on their perimeter.
It is almost as if Kingston Flemings is playing at a different speed, right? Everybody else is playing at 33 and he's playing at 45 on the LP. He is just absolutely could not be demonstrating a better skill set than he has the last 3 games. But tonight he has been spectacular.
13 points, getting it in a lot of different ways for the freshman from San Antonio. Robinson. Almost slipped. Runs into Tugler. And it's Houston ball.
Yeah, Brody Robinson's trying so hard to make something happen with the dribble. And he's not a threat to finish. And so even though he's got those exceptional handles, he can get to the paint. Once he gets there, he's got to find somebody to throw the ball to. And the Cougars are doing a nice job of taking away all the options.
Some coaching there from Greg Campy for the Houstonian. Brody Robinson went to Houston Christian High School. Sharp for Sinek. Sinek, 2 dribbles. It popped out into the hands of Larua. From Sydney, Australia, preseason Horizon League Player of the Year. Here he tries to fade away over Sinek.
That was nice. Had a good game against Purdue. Had 11 points, 7 rebounds, 2 block shots. He was solid. That was a nice basket.
Had 18 plus 5 rebounds and a career high 3 made threes against Michigan in the opener.
Horizon League's leading returning scorer.
No look past Kingston Flemings for Emmanuel Sharp. Houston ball after Garrett lost the handle.
Fleming's now up to 4 assists, and that could easily have been 8, but for some missed shots. But boy, he just does such a good job of setting teammates up. It's hard to tell from that angle, but Kingston Flemings took his eyes to the left on a 45 degree and drew that wing zone player up and left Emmanuel Sharp all by himself in the corner.
Oh, tough rebound from Sinek.
Golly.
Flemings, another no-look dime, and Sinek has a dunk.
Come on, Kingston. Chris Sinek got that rebound from about 5 feet away from the ball.
Nine points, 3 rebounds for Chris Sinek. Another nice fadeaway. He might be heating up here in the second half. It's Baru. Larua.
As a freshman, but I don't have the stats readily available, but I'm going to bet that he started off with double-digit rebounding.
For more on Chris Sinek, let's go back to Austin Ivan.
Yeah, well, Coach Sampson has said that Chris Sinek is an already elite rebounder, and that's what's going to keep him on the floor. But right now, he's also trying to work on one thing in each area of the game. Reed, I know you love Coach Sampson's analogy, so this is how he explained it. He said, when you put someone in a room with 3 rabbits, they wouldn't know which one to chase, but if you have...
Analyst Appreciation Week.
Reed Geddes Appreciation Week.
Yeah, that's too
December
much.
1.
That's too much.
In Houston.
I'm already living the dream.
I appreciate you, Reed.
I better stop while I'm ahead.
Every game we get, I appreciate it. Learning from you. The rabbit joke at the end of the last section was really good.
Is that a great analogy? There's 3 rabbits running around the room. Just focus on one of them. Yeah, we were talking about Elvin Hayes, and one of the things that Elvin said before the game to our crew is he has been so impressed with the rebounding of Chris Sinek. Rebounding is toughness.
Sharp.
Great pass.
For Flemings. 15 for Kingston Flemings. Robinson explodes to the paint.
6'11", Chris Sinek outguarding 5'11".
Tried the crafty finish. Tugler muscles his way to a rebound. Sharp. Misses the 3. Zaire Wells grabs the rebound.
Zaire Wells, the leading scorer for the Golden Grizzlies, coming into this game still with only 2 points.
Good save underneath the basket from Garrett. Still Kingston Flemings. He will run.
Yes,
can they slow him down? Sharp. Up and under finish. Garrett's down behind the play.
Yeah, he tweaked his ankle. Kingston Fleming's now with 6 assists and 0 turnovers.
Good bounce pass underneath for Garrett. He missed, tapped it off the glass to himself for a left-handed finish. Tremendous from Isaac Garrett, up to 14 points.
He's had a really nice game. Had 12 of the 17 in the first half, and right now he's fighting through an ankle. His left ankle he tweaked the last time down the floor. He's got a puffy eye on his right eye, and man, he's been through the battle.
Sharp misses the fadeaway. Wells rebounds out to Robinson. Robinson lowers the shoulder. Good defense from Kingston Flemings.
Brody Robinson is playing hard, but having a hard time finishing plays.
Sinek from the free throw line.
Is that another rabbit I see running across the room?
A nod of approval from Elvin to our right on Radio Row. A steal from Tugler. A tackle from Robinson. Trying to prevent the outlet pass to Kingston Flemings.
Yeah, Brody Robinson playing in his hometown and more than a little frustrated right now. And JoJo Tugler will frustrate you. Statistically, setting aside the impact he has at the rim and the number of shots he changes, blocks, and or impacts, he's been averaging almost 9 to 10 deflections just from those long arms and contesting passes. This is a remarkable statistic.
Let's go back to Austin for more on JoJo Tugler.
Well, yeah, Coach Sampson said he needs to call him JoJo the fly trap because of that wingspan. He extends so many possessions. Reed, you just said on most nights he gets 10 deflections and 9 tips. So Coach loves his shot blocking ability, but also how he gets his hand on so many passes as well.
Yeah, Austin, what did he call him? A Venus flytrap, snatching flies out of the sky?
Loose ball foul underneath. The Venus flytrap, JoJo Tugler, 2 early fouls. Has been better avoiding fouls here in the second half. He has not picked up a 3rd foul after those 2 early ones.
Already has 8 blocks this year in limited playing time, and coming off of injury from the offseason, and he really looks good.
And he could win National Defensive Player of the Year, Reed. He was up for it, a finalist last year. Could be his award to win.
Might be his award to lose.
JoJo Tugler out of Cy Falls High School on the northwest side of Houston. Now in his 3rd season, preseason All Big 12. All Houston here in this one. JoJo Tugler and his teammates a comfortable lead. 8 minutes in.
About home court dominance in the Kelvin Sampson era.
It's about 1 loss per year on average.
Is that any good?
At home, not too bad. And then they've been just as good on the road. Last year, an unbeaten Big 12 road schedule, which is hard to fathom. Turnover, Oakland. Just the 10th so far tonight for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Chase McCarty, sophomore from Alabama, affecting that bounce pass.
Well, defensively, the Cougars have been so good. Oakland only shooting 27% from the floor, 13% from the three-point line. Against Purdue, they were really good with points in the paint. Scored 40 points in the paint against Purdue. Only 12 here tonight.
Eva LaRua pulls in the rebound. Up tempo. He's fouled Garrett, but it's stripped. McCarty off the mark.
Yeah, as good as Isaac Garrett has been in this game, boy, you got to dunk that basketball because you know somebody's coming from behind.
Tugler had another block.
Now 4 blocks for Tugler.
In 11 minutes played. Garrett wants an entry pass. Thurman back for Garrett. This is the 3. Tugler has another rebound. Milo Suzanne. Emmanuel Sharp.
Emmanuel Sharp now leading scorer for the Cougars with 16 points.
Thurman.
That'll make that 19 points.
Harwell has a steal. Isaiah Harwell with the dunk. Isaiah Harwell chose Houston over Cal, Gonzaga, and Texas. Knocked away by Tugler. He's forced another steal. 2-on-2 with Uzan and McCarty. Crossover Uzan. Offensive goaltending against JoJo Tugler.
Talk about wide receivers in the NFL having a zone of reception, right? What do they call it?
Zone of influence?
Catch radius.
Catch radius.
Right? We need a zone, a radius of influence for JoJo Tugler, right? How many balls he blocks, tips, pokes loose, and it is remarkable the impact that he has on a basketball game.
Isaac Garrett misses with the left hand. Mercy Miller back in the game. Played 9 minutes in the first half.
Good pass.
Mercy Miller from the corner. McCarty chases down the rebound, and he's fouled.
Okay, I'm going to make a statement. Nobody in the country rebounds out of position as well as the Houston Cougars. It is amazing to me how many rebounds this team gets from players that when the shot went up, they are outside the three-point line on the opposite side of the floor. That is the culture that Kelvin Sampson has built. It is remarkable, and Chase McCarty may be as good as anyone I've seen in a few years doing it.
Isaiah Harwell has a three. Sure, that looked good.
He had 15 points against Purdue and is an excellent catch and shoot player.
He's 2 for 3 from deep tonight. Averaging 12 points per game this season. He actually grew 2 inches this offseason. I think JoJo Tugler might have as well. A dunk for Tugler.
Yeah, but compare how Isaac Garrett finished on one end where he was just trying to lay it up as opposed to the way JoJo just finished through contact.
Good defense from McCarty. He runs into Tugler. Both players go down. McCarty remains down. Chase McCarty receiving treatment. We will take a break here. Houston leading 64-31. 8:10 to go inside Fertitta Center. Well, to All-American, his Utah Prospects team won the AAU National Championship in South Carolina in 2024. Ramon Walker Jr. in the game. Tugler, passing, design play. Here from Houston out of the timeouts. Back to Tugler, high post. Good spin and finish from JoJo Tugler. Mashur running the offense here for Oakland. And a foul called on Kingston Flemings.
Yeah, immediately looked over at Kelvin Sampson like, what are you going to say about it? It's really good defense. And Kelvin Sampson's holding his arms out and says, you're doing fine, just don't play defense with your arms, right? Keep playing defense with the middle of your chest. Play defense with your number 4. That's what you're keeping on the offensive player at all times. Get your hands off of him.
JoJo Tugler listens to Kelvin Sampson as he goes to the bench.
Good defense by Isaiah Harwell.
White off a screen. Good chase down. Excellent motor tonight from Isaac Garrett. Flemings. Harwell!
Kingston Flemings now with 9 assists.
Motion offense here. Back to the corner. Maybe LaRua. Good give and go. He'll finish.
Isaac Garrett's been really good, right? Scouting report says he passes extremely well out of the post, completely unfazed by that double team.
Greg Campy said he's like Brett Favre. He likes throwing into tight windows, can turn it over, but also has assists like we just saw. Isaiah Harwell. This is the corner three. Miller grabs the rebound. Flemings is so explosive. Shot fake from White. Nassim Major trying to find space. Garrett. Long from deep, another run out opportunity. Kingston Flemings, another dunk!
His takeoff looks like it's a pogo stick, right? A lot of guys gather themselves and they dip down. Man, he plants that foot and it's like, boing! Look how quick he explodes off that foot. Boy, you don't appreciate it from that angle, but from where we were, that young man is flying through the air. What a night for Kingston Flemings.
Antonio.
It's going to be a challenge for the coaching staff to look at the film and find something to get on him about.
Khalifa Sacco back in the game for Houston.
And Mercy Miller playing really nice defense over the top of several screens. Ooh, good step back.
Ashur hits. He's made 3 tonight for Oakland. From 6'4" to 6'6", 14 minutes per game. Coach Campy Reed called him a classic Oakland three-point shooter. Houston's made 6 of its last 8 shots. Warren Marshall the fourth. First minutes this season, he had been held out by a deep heel bruise. Redshirt freshman from Michigan and Brother Rice High School. Another turnover.
The Oakland Golden Grizzlies, as we say so often in home games here in the Petita Center, are flirting with having more turnovers than made field goals. 4:50 to go in the second half, and they have 13 turnovers to 14 made field goals.
Cordell Jefferson, his first minutes tonight. Played 6 minutes against Lehigh, held out against Towson. Nice use of the left window.
You see that sleeve on his leg. He went and had an MRI. It was either today or yesterday and came back clean, but he is not 100%. Kevin Simpson singles Cordell out in practice, that he has earned playing time based upon the way he practices. Kevin Simpson says, look, if I don't reward somebody for the way they practice, then I lose credibility with the rest of the players because they see who's playing hard, who's doing it consistent, and I'm going to reward that. And Cordell Jefferson, it's a shame that against Towson he wasn't available to play because he had really earned time, and he also made his head coach smile.
An in-game smile from Kelvin Sampson.
We may need to keep that on tape.
Stu Geddes, how many of those?
A statistician says 0 as in never.
Cordell Jefferson, by the way, the first Dallas recruit to sign with Houston since Marcus Sasser. Cordell went to Arlington Martin High School. He had surgery on both wrists in the summer of 2023.
Originally from Mississippi. Good pass fake.
He's got that floater. Two of those off the bench for Cordell Jefferson.
Oh, he's been sitting over there an awful long time to come in and look that good offensively.
Robinson draws the foul on Cordell Jefferson.
Now the Cougars have dominated this basketball game almost from the start, and JoJo Tugler did not get much playing time in the first half, but boy, he has been exceptional here in the second half, and Isaiah Hartwell getting in on the action has looked good. 5 rebounds, and the freshman had himself a night.
A foul on a three-pointer before the immediate timeout. Brody Robinson looks good from the line. Brody Robinson 5 of 13 from 3 in the first 2 games against Michigan and Purdue, but he's 0 for 3 from deep tonight. Oakland needs to make threes to have a chance. They're 3 of 13 from deep tonight.
Greg Campy talked about holding the Cougars' offensive rebounding efficiency down to 35%. The Cougars are at 50% right now. They have missed 30 shots and 15 offensive rebounds. They've actually missed 33 jump shots, and they have 15 rebounds.
Isaiah Hartwell to the line.
We were talking about Cordell Jefferson before we went to timeout, and Alan Bishop, the outstanding strength coach for Houston, told us before the game that, you know, of all the guys he was bragging about and how hard everybody has worked, and said that pound for pound, nobody is stronger than Cordell Jefferson. He said he's like cornerback, halfback, football strong.
Jefferson on the floor, and he's guarding the point guard here, Brody Robinson. Nine points for Hartwell after he made both free throws.
Good closeout.
A foul before the shot was attempted.
But that was a really nice play by Sed Lott. The ball skipped out, and you've got your big guy, 6'11", 260, closing out. Perfect technique, chopping his feet, short steps, has a hand up to take away the quick jump shot, and had balance, but doesn't have the ability out on the perimeter to stay in front of Isaac Garrett.
Garrett's looked good tonight. He makes both free throws, 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 35 tough minutes for Isaac Garrett. A lot of praise for Sed Lott on the call with Coach Sampson this week. His personality, what a team player he is, and what he brings to this team.
Yeah, his positivity. Kevin Sampson is talking about just what a positive influence he is for all the players and how beloved he is in the locker room.
Here he is. Out to Ramon Walker. He sets a screen. Cordell Jefferson off the mark. Lott grabs the rebound and runs out of room. Coach Sampson, speaking about Sed Lott, said he sees him after the game on the phone a lot. He asked him, he said, "Who are you talking to?" He says, "I'm calling my mom back in Ivory Coast."
That's a good boy right there. You better call mama after the game.
From Ivory Coast, went to high school at the Balboa School in San Diego. His family moved from Ivory Coast to Canada before he went to Henderson, Nevada, and then San Diego. Garrett guarded by Lott. He got the roll.
He has been terrific in this game. He was really good against Purdue. We talked about it earlier. He has the ability. He's so crafty with the way he can step through and finish with both hands.
20 points on the road inside Fertitta Center against the #1 team in the land. That's a career highlights for Isaac Garrett. Harwell misses from 18 feet.
I think Kelvin Simpson's got to be extremely pleased with the way his team has executed against the zone defense. He talked a lot in the press conference about the challenge it is to play Oakland, who is such a zone-dominant team, because you've got to practice against the zone. He said, we're not working on zone offenses. And somebody asked him, well, when did you put in your zone offense? And he said, yesterday. It looks pretty good.
Nassim Bashor out of Dearborn High School in Michigan. Sedmont against a guard and Corey Thurman. Ramon Walker Jr. Good defense. Rebounded by Cordell Jefferson after the miss from Abel Arua.
Said lob was open.
Miller flashes into the zone. He misses that 15-footer. And a tough rebound pulled in by Ramon Walker Jr. The keys are out for the students inside Fertitta Center. Oakland averaged 57 points in its first 2 games on the road at Michigan and then on the road at Purdue. 43 so far tonight inside Fertitta Center. Jefferson misses. Ramon Walker Jr. has a rebound. Jefferson tries again. Sedlot has the rebound. Miller missed it with the left hand. Oakland ball.
Cordell Jefferson did not check in the game gun shy. I think he's got a shot up every time the ball has touched his hands.
5 shots in 4 minutes for Cordell Jefferson. Final possession. Browning got a very difficult start to the season. Number 7, then number 1, and then number 1 again, all on the road for Oakland. Wells has a bucket.
Second bucket, only 4 points for the leading scorer for the Golden Grizzlies.
Final seconds inside Fertitta Center. Houston will improve to 3-0 on the season. Next up, Auburn in Birmingham, Alabama for Kelvin Sampson's team.
Now that'll be a challenge. Kelvin